just live you live on,
It's been nice.
yeah, you live just.
Good evening. Welcome to the Tuesday, March 1st, first day of some kind of spring, 2022. Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justin, will you do the roll call, please?
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Check, Nichols. Here. Beam.
Here.
Siebel.
Here.
Osborne.
Here.
And Smock. I'm also here.
What's that? Approval of the March 1st, 2022 agenda, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Approval of the February 15th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
So moved.
Okay, we have a bid opening tonight. We put the 2011 Dodge Charger out for bid and we ended up receiving, For-
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get a second and a call.
right. And
I'll second
And roll call.
Roll call for the approval of February 15th, 2022 regular meeting minutes. Nichols.
Yes.
Beam.
Yes.
Siebel.
Yeah.
Osborne.
it. Yes.
And Smock. Yes as well.
Thank you, Justin. Like I was saying. So we actually received 4 bids and we're gonna open them to determine who got the highest bid for the 2011 Dodge Charger. And then do
How many
news and,
bids were there?
what's that?
There were 4 bids.
Okay, thank you, Christie.
I have Mason Vanderkolk, had bid $2,350.
What was our minimum?
2,500. We have a bid from Andrew Kessler, bid $4,000 for the 2011 Dodge Charger. Emergency remarketing, their bid was $1,568.18, which was under our threshold.
How much was that, Christie?
1568,
60.
16.
Thank you.
Under.
Our bid was, threshold was set at 2,500.
Computer generated bids.
And then I have Ringwood Motors out of Ringwood, Illinois, bidding at $2,580. So the bid will go to Mr. Andrew Kessler in the amount of $4,000. And if you want to let him know, I'll be in contact with him tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay?
We do need to call for.
How much was the
Yes.
last bid, Christie?
Yeah.
2580.
Just a couple months ago and they wanted $8,000 for it.
Go ahead.
So 4 bids total tonight?
Yes, we received 4 bids, Steve. And now we're going to take a motion to approve the bid in the amount of $4,000 for the 2011 Dodge Charger.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid for $4,000 for the Dodge Charger from Andrew
Thank you, Charles.
What, Steve?
I guess that just goes to prove that, waiting a little bit, put in a very reasonable price on the cars paid off at 4,000. I hope we continue that process and not take such a loss, but I'm happy with the $4,000 bid.
Is that a second, Steve?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, congratulations.
you.
Tonight we have a public hearing, and it is disposal of city property. I'll take a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
I'll make the motion.
I'll take you as a second, Charles,
Okay, I'll do a second on that.
okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We do have the gentleman here, as well as Chris Fischels. If you or the public would have any questions.
These are on the property at Eagle Landing.
Yes, for lots 1 and for lots 3.
What's going in there, do we know?
No, but they, we wrote up the agreement that they would have to give us the site plan and et cetera, and it would have to be approved by council. And they were in agreement to that. That was the counteroffer.
Okay.
I would just like to say that I appreciate the interest in Evansville and being a part of the community, and I wish you luck.
Excellent. Well, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So number 8 is resolution 6587, approving the sale of city property, and that is lot 1. I'll take a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
That'll be a roll call, Justin.
Nichols,
Yes.
Beam,
Yes.
Siebel,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Smock, yes as well.
Resolution 6588, approving the sale of city property, and that is gonna be lot 3.
So moved.
I'll do a second.
Roll call, please.
Nichols,
Yes.
Beam,
Yes.
Siebel,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Smock, yes as well.
Excellent. Thank you, and again, we do appreciate you taking interest in the city of Evansville. We're looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Number 10 is approval of the consent agenda. Take a motion for that.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 11 is appointments, boards and commissions for Board of Adjustment. We have Jerry McAdonsky, with a term to expire 4/1/25. And Bill Brandenburg, his term is actually to fill term, because we were short on, some volunteers in that particular board. They are with us tonight, and I'd like to tell them thank you for their interest and take a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve those commission present there.
Second?
Taking interest.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 12 is approval of the resolution calendar. Just for a side note, I just wanted to explain that we received a SRF loan, and it was set to expire. It is for planning and design of the wastewater rehabilitation project. We wanted to extend that, this is just extending that, resolution 6590. Otherwise, we'd have to start paying it back right away. And we're not done with the planning and design of the facility at this point.
What's that increase the interest?
No interest at this point. It doesn't, we don't pay any interest until it goes into the final, it goes out for bid. I'll take a motion.
I'll motion for it.
Awesome.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Nichols,
Yes.
Beam,
Yes.
Siebel,
Yeah.
Osborne,
Yes.
Smock. Yes.
Thank you, guys. Number 13 is public hearing to approve the FY '23 max levy rate. I'll take a motion to open the hearing, please.
So moved. Second.
I know the public, no comments received and the proof of publication is on file in the city clerk's office. Nothing has really changed from our several budget meetings that we've had. We were all in favor up until this point of what the levy rate was gonna be. It did show, the reason they did the max levy hearing is to give the public and the council or whatever, there's to be more transparent and to have the transparency there. It also, in an event that you would go over 2%, which we are like 8.10, but the reason we're 8.10 is because our valuations in our city improved by $10 million. And that's absolutely wonderful. So that's something to be proud of, that we have new businesses, new homes, et cetera, coming into our community to increase our valuation. Does anybody have any comments?
Is that due to the new construction or
Yes,
assessing the value higher?
both. Because you have Burger King's on there now, the full Dollar Tree's on there. There was a couple of larger businesses that just went in that weren't on there. And then BPI did a $2 million renovation of their business as well.
I don't call raising the value of my house a good sign.
Some were quite increased quite a bit, and some of them didn't hardly go up at all. Yeah, it was just kind of all over the charts there. Ms. Parker?
Thank you, Kelly Parker, Marion Avenue. This is kind of new for many people to be thinking about the levy rate. Do we have any hope of this rate decreasing in the future? You know, Cedar Falls, they were able to lower their taxes, their property taxes, because of all of the new developments
They raised them.
in the past. So I'm wondering, because they had more tax base, they were able to lower the tax burden per citizen. Can we hope that this will go down in the future rather than creep up?
We have some of the lowest taxes, probably in the United States of America. Just so I'd let you know. If you can go online and access that information. We have very low taxes if we can keep them somewhere around where we're at. As far as our levy rate.
I've spoken with several citizens who have left our community for lower tax rates in surrounding communities, like Jessup and other small communities like that. I'm not comparing us to that, but we don't have the lowest tax rate around.
We have one of the lowest, just one cent. But
It is
to answer your question, as valuations go up, it helps to alleviate that. So we haven't had any real big tax increases for several years now. So to answer your question, I doubt that we'll be decreasing it. But I could see where we could try to stay within the same area.
I think if I may add just a little bit to Ms. Parker's point, I think nobody loves taxes going up. And at least, I hopefully feel I can speak for the whole council here, as our job is to make sure that we don't go out and spend money for no reason. So while I would love to be able to promise, absolutely, we'll do everything we can to make sure your taxes go down, I also wanna make sure everybody, citizens, taxpayer, council, mayor, administration, has a realistic approach as well, as where we would always love them to go down. Inflation this year has been atrocious, everything continues to go up. Where I would love to make sure we're always looking for the opportunity on where we can cut and keep them low or even go back. I also wanna make sure we're probably more aggressive in making sure we don't let them go higher wherever possible. And where I see that is bringing in the new businesses and continuing things like Eagles Landing, new residential properties and things. That way we do add to the tax, so when we do have salary increases, when we do have additional cost increases and things, that is absorbed by our city's growth rather than by increasing taxes, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
So,
I'll take the motion to close the public hearing, please.
so moved.
Second.
Great, thank you. Resolution 6592 is, 6591, approving the max levy rate.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 6592, setting the date of public hearing approval for the 23 budget.
We on 6191?
We're on 6591.
He said two, that's what.
I think he was doing 6591.
Can't hear.
Okay,
You were doing 6591, right? For the resolution,
Who?
Steve?
Who?
You.
Well, I thought I was doing the other one, but I can't. I'm not hearing very well here, but it's 6591, Mike, let's go with it, yeah.
Okay.
I will second you, Steve, for 6591.
roll
Thank you.
call, please, Justin.
Nichols,
Yes.
Beam, Belingi Charles,
Yes,
Okay.
sorry about that. I can hear it.
Siebel for 6591.
Yes. Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Smock, yes.
Thank you. Number 15, resolution 6592, setting date of public hearing, approving the FY 2023 budget.
Sounds like that was you, Steve.
Yeah, and I'll make a resolution 6592, setting date of public hearing approval for the 23 budget. And I want to thank Deanne and the people that were involved, as well as the council, department heads, putting this together to keep our rate minimally low. And I agree with you, what you said, Justin, and I think we need to work together and look at things going in the future to maintain the same status.
What's the number then?
6592.
6592.
I don't have a 92, I got a 91.
It should be
The amended.
the amended one. There was an amended agenda sent out. There was like 3 things added on to it on Monday morning.
So you can get that far.
I'll second it. There.
Roll call, Justin.
Nichols,
Yes.
Beam,
Yes.
Siebel,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Smock, also yes.
Thank you. Number 16 is setting the date of our citywide garage sales for June 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
So moved.
Second.
I just wondered if you guys had considered any of the surrounding communities having citywide garage sales on the same weekend? Has anybody cross-referenced?
Well, we haven't had a problem with it. We've been doing it on the first weekend of June for probably about 6 years now, 7 years.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay.
But in the
Do you
past,
want to come up to the
Sure.
podium and state your name, please?
Laura Benson, Michigan Drive in Evansville, and I'm questioning if we are taking the time to cross-reference and work with our surrounding communities. The citywide garage sale has been a wonderful experience for most that come. However, if we could get other communities in line with us so that we're not competing against each other for big distances or for our smaller communities around us such as Raymond and Elk Run to also join in, that would be a benefit.
We did not take that into consideration this year.
Okay, next year can we?
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Okay,
You have a motion and a second on the floor.
I accept.
Mrs. Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Set the date of citywide cleanup for June 10th and 11th.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Pick up the stuff they didn't sell.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
It works out real well that way. Number 18, discussion possible action. I've had a request from Chad Martin to lease a piece of city-owned property. It was in your packets. It is down in the southern portion of McCoy. I think where the pond is, Ron, in that area that's city-owned property. Yeah, it looks like there's still a pond there.
They're still on.
Of some sort.
Building one, yeah.
Okay. So, obviously, we can't dispose of that property because it's in the floodway. So he would be interested if we'd consider to lease that to him for hunting purposes in the future.
See, that's my building.
Yes, and he has to give a copy of his liability insurance to us as well. And we're listed as additional insurance.
Yeah, for what, how much?
That's up to you guys. There is a couple pieces of land up in that area from Evansdale Drive down that we are leasing. Right now, we're leasing a pretty large area for,
The only concern is you've got that boat ramp not too far from there, and there's shooting guns in there.
well, that boat ramp isn't.
It isn't that far, Two River Drive isn't that far.
It's closed.
Yeah, but it's no longer.
Yeah.
There's no boat ramp there
Yeah,
anymore.
you can't use
It's in the Cedar River, in the middle of the Cedar River.
What are we doing on Two River Drive?
Nothing.
That's the thing that's putting the boat.
No, that's on River Road.
Oh, that's River Road, yeah.
River Road over by the bike bridge. The bicycling bridge.
Oh, okay.
Right, it's going in that area right there. Maybe.
Yeah, Two River Drive.
And just so, and this is just for my question, you're just checking, the property that we're dealing with is on the east side of McCoy
Yes,
rather than, and Ron, are you thinking Two River on the west side?
West side, yeah.
And, okay, yeah, so I think there's enough gap there that they'd be shooting through residential to hit Two River with boat ramp would be.
Yeah, I assume we said where the lake was on the end of McCoy Road to the east, or to the west, I mean.
This one looks to be just behind the property. So it looks like there's the last house down there on the southeast side of McCoy. It's behind him, heading towards Evansdale Drive.
That'd probably be okay then.
it's actually south
Andy
of that
Swearing.
property. What's that?
Andy Swearing owns that property, the last
Yes,
one.
it's south of Andy Swearing's house, yeah. I'm just putting it out there. We would have to do a lease agreement and have it on the next agenda. But we have been renting land in that area, just a couple property, up, for $30 a year.
What type of hunting would be in there?
Mainly,
bears as
he's
well.
mainly fowl,
Bears?
lions and tigers and bears.
I think they set up deer stands too,
Yeah, okay.
bow hunt deer.
So bow hunting and he does do a lot of with the fowl, which does help us decrease the large amount of fowl that we do have in the city.
Any
Is
issues?
anybody checking with the neighbors?
What's that?
Is anybody checking with the surrounding residents to see if they have an objection?
There
really isn't anybody close.
there might be one, you know,
How many
Chieftain,
How many acres is it?
I believe it's 2 acres.
Well, there's some regulations regarding the amount of acres, and shooting within the city limits.
That's where I was going next, thank you.
Yes.
Shooting.
And that would also be looked into. I mean, I just wanted to know if you guys had some consideration for it. And then we'd move forward and look at all the,
But they've been given, permission, for years now to, hunt fowl and stuff on city property. I know past administrations have given them permission many times over the years.
I know they plant wild grasses and stuff down there too.
Jerry, can you come up to the, podium? Please say your name and address.
Jerry McAnunsky, Doyle Drive. This actually is Andy Swearing's property down in there. I know Greg Serene, several of them, and they actually do a lot of conservational work down there and prepping the property, and they plant wild grasses and stuff to induce wildlife and things like that. So they're very conscious of, making the right choices down there, so.
Okay.
So they're good people. They really
Okay, well, thank you.
Not just down popping off beer cans off the fence posts.
No, I don't believe they drink down there at all.
I guess as far as, my opinion on it, I don't have a problem seeing it go forward to make sure that city ordinances, if it becomes a neighbor or a space thing that, we're clearing all the other things, but I don't have a problem with it. Especially being on that side near Evansdale Drive, that might also help some, it certainly wouldn't hurt if it is deer or anything to help try to thin that, because again, it's just one less thing to run across your path trying to drive out to our beautiful new Eagles Landing.
Yes, right.
We're gonna require a liability insurance on that.
Yes, we do. Yep,
I got no problem with it then.
okay. Well, I'll take a motion to bring it back on the next agenda.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Charles?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Did you say of what, Steve?
Yeah, what? I can't hear anybody.
Okay, we were talking about item number 18 on the agenda about a piece of land that is somebody wants to rent or lease out. Did you see any of that? Did you see the image that was attached to the agenda?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's what we were talking about.
Okay.
We just
Thank you.
are moving it to put on the agenda for next time, for the next meeting.
All right, cool. All right.
Okay, next is number 19 for public discussion. If anyone would like to speak publicly, please come up to the podium and state your name and your address. Okay. Mayor council reports. Council have anything this evening?
I was wondering what the agreement with Elk Run was working out.
Well, actually, I was planning on having that probably on an agenda. I haven't had time to reach out to Lisa, the mayor of Elk Run Heights, but that's something that we can do within the next couple weeks. If you'd like to see it on the next agenda.
Yes, please.
Okay.
What are we talking about, Christie?
Charles just brought up the Elk Run Heights agreement for the police, and we're gonna have it on the next agenda.
Yeah, I got a couple questions I'd like to just put for public record.
Okay,
I read Elk Run minutes of February 8th, and I'm kind of confused. I thought that we had an understanding with them as far as things on the contract. The thing that concerns me is Mayor Smock talked. She explained that there were a couple of council members in Evansville that were implying to see a large increase in the contract. I was down there that day with Mayor Kaviska and Ron, not myself. Was I implementing wanting to have large increases, and they don't appreciate that in their public record minutes that was said, because that was not my Steve Steele's intent at all. So I want that on the record that is not me that she's referring to on her minutes of February 8th.
Steve,
I'm willing to, I mean, we've had conversation on this, we ran this down the road, I've talked to most people. I'm not 100% in agreement with it, but I am in agreement with neighborly comes neighborly. But like I said before, I think we need to have some negotiable talks on this way before it comes due. And we're having to hit at the last hour, ring the bell to go one way or another that might upset somebody more so than the other. So I just wanted that on record tonight, Mayor Kaliska.
okay, and just also for the record is that when they met, before we met, the four of us met. So that council meeting happened before four of us met. From what I understand.
Well, you said we're gonna bring it up on the agenda for discussion next time, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, if no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to close. Or
Motion
adjourn.
to adjourn. Second.
I just said adjourn instead of close. So we still need a second.
I'll second it.
Second.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Wow. Night, everybody.
How was it?
Good night.
Pretty painless.